Hey, thanks for coming and checking me out. My name is Soup, and this is First Impressions, where I take a little dive, give you a little review into TV shows that I've never gotten to see before, and probably you haven't either. So stick around, we're gonna check them out, see what we think about them. This is First Impressions. All right. This week on First Impressions, we're checking out a show that has been trying to do something with itself for quite a few years. It's Kenan, starring Kenan Thompson from SNL and Kenan and Kel fame. The show is about Kenan. He plays kind of an extrapolation of himself. He's a morning show host in Atlanta, and he lives with his daughters, his brother, and his father-in-law, but he's recently widowed. His daughter's mother has passed away fairly recently, and right off in the first two episodes, which are the episodes I got to check out, we realize that he hasn't actually dealt with the passing of his wife very well.
I cannot believe I was so freaked out about coming in here. It's actually nice remembering all this stuff.
There's a lot of differencing of opinions between the people that are in his life, from his producer of his show, to his daughters, to his brother, to his father-in-law. They all kind of have their different little inputs with how they feel Kenan should be dealing with his life, what's going on, the changes, and everything that seems to be surrounding the recent passing of the love of his life, as we see.
Rick was just acting a damn fool.
But on the show, too, you're a little off. I mean, you snapped at Tammy, not that she isn't super snappable, but you haven't been yourself since, well, you know.
Quite quickly, we realize that it's going to be kind of your standard sitcom, nothing too crazy out of this world or innovative, but it still is pretty funny. What I found was that most of the jokes are fairly SNL-type one-liners that are stuck in there to make sure the giggles are happening.
What are you even doing up?
I thought we had a break-in.
What were you gonna do, give him the funk?
I was going to hit him in the face and then say, "Sax to be you."
That actually would have been dope.
There is no laugh track, so it's kind of following the new standard of single-camera style show, much like a show like Modern Family, without the interviewee segments from shows like that. The first episode is really interesting because we immediately dive into that issue of Kenan having lost his wife and not having dealt with it yet.
No, but seriously, that did happen with my wife, Corey, and I.
And we can talk more about that because I'm sure the audience would love a personal story, Kenan.
Yeah, no, of course.
And he does make some bumbles and some stumbles, and obviously, for the sake of comedy, ends up offending at least one or more groups of people. It really does become kind of entertaining at that point, whereas the first little act segment of this 22-minute run show is really more about the introduction of characters and finding out who they are and who we're going to be seeing on a regular basis. Because obviously, there isn't just this little tight-knit cast. We're working with the host of a morning TV show.
Good morning, Atlanta. I don't care who you slept with, as long as you... Wake up with Kenan! That's right.
So we get to see the cast and crew of the show that Kenan's on, and some of the people that are in Kenan's life. What I noticed in the pilot is they really didn't waste any time jumping right into what is going to be, at least it feels so far after episode 2, the standard way that this show is going to play out. It feels really like a standard sitcom does. They aren't rolling into any crazy, unique, or amazing, different way of doing a sitcom. This is kind of your standard run-of-the-mill.
I'm talking, of course, about the issue of cake versus pie.
Which isn't exactly what I was expecting. The show has been tried over and over again to be retooled and reworked to become something. At some points, it had Chris Rock involved in it. This goes back to like 2018, late 2017, when they first started doing a show with Kenan. It started off as a completely different character altogether, played by Kenan, and eventually has progressed its way into being just a alternate universe version of Kenan being a morning show host instead of an SNL long-term cast member.
Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that.
But we do get a lot of familiar faces in Don Johnson and Chris Redd as supporting characters. We have Kimry Lewis, who plays his producer for the morning show, kind of that solid foil character, giving us the spin of reality behind all the wackiness that comes from the brother, the father-in-law, and Kenan himself. And the two daughters are played by sisters, and they have some great chemistry. And really, in the first episode, I would say that they are the strong focal point, and they really are the comedic hard spots in this.
Hey, mom's old church hat. That thing ruined a lot of people's view of Jesus. Amen.
They have some of the best jokes. They have some of the best deliveries of stuff. Things that don't feel like they're a standard scripted comedy. They feel natural, almost as if they're impromptu, but they are younger actors, and it's kind of the feeling that they're going to be going somewhere in the future. I have a lot of hope for these two young actors and where they're going to go, because they really bring a solid point to the center of this show. Don Johnson is a familiar face. He plays Kenan's father-in-law and the father of the recently deceased wife of Kenan, and the grandfather to those lovely young kids. You'll probably recognize him most recently from HBO's Watchmen television series, which was quite a big hit. Awesome stuff. But really, Don Johnson is known for some classic kind of stuff. We got Nash Bridges in there. Eastbound and Down, he played a couple of roles. Miami Vice. It's Don Johnson. If you don't know who he is, definitely give him a Google. He's done some amazing things out there, and I kind of feel like he's the alternate celebrity star power against Kenan, who is a well-established, one of the longest-standing SNL cast members of all time, and I really feel that they put these two side by side to use that star power to their advantage. Chris Redd, who plays the brother, does some amazing work in there. He is definitely the comedic foil for the adult cast members anyway.
Corey's signature perfume.
Rejection by Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, I can't believe she agreed to that name, but it is a nice fragrance.
He also plays Kenan's, I guess you would call him manager or day-to-day assistant, maybe a little bit of both of those, but he's also the wild card, obviously is the partier of the whole group. If you remember him from Disjointed, he played the ultra stoner, forever hanging out kind of customer. He's also played some big roles, including voiceover in Big Mouth, and is a current SNL cast member, at least for the past 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. I'm not totally sure, but he's definitely on there all the time. You can check him out, along with Kenan on SNL. He's also released some comedy stand-up style stuff, including his own special on Comedy Central and a comedy album. And he really is the comedy central point in this group of 3 guys who are going to be helping raise these 2 young kids. And I think that's kind of the whole stew of what's going on inside this character amalgamation between the father-in-law, Kenan, and the brother.
Come here, baby. You know about that hug life?
Just in time for the hug.
And then we also have the side characters and the recurring characters that come out of the TV show, as it seems that most of this show is going to be centered around that television show and the home life beside it. Like I said, this show has been in the works for a long time, including collaborations with people like Chris Rock, but it came down to a couple of hard changes and reworks and retools that brought it to what it is today, and it's available out now on NBC's Peacock streaming service day of, and I believe on Hulu the day after it comes out, which as of right now is Tuesday evenings. The show is created by Jackie Clark and David Casp. They've been kind of the finalizers in putting this show where it was as of release. And it was released on February 26, 2021, and there's definitely 2 episodes out now, possibly 3, but I only got to watch the first 2 episodes of it, and I enjoyed it. It definitely isn't my favorite show so far of all of these things that I've been checking out and getting my first impressions of, but it's definitely a solid show. I'm sure it's going to be able to run at least its full first season, an episode by episode, mindless, everyday kind of sitcom. It has some good, solid jokes, and there are definitely some plot points which kind of drive it on home. There's some heartwarming moments with the daughters and the family kind of coming together to be supportive. Overall, it really feels like it's missing that kind of pop that really makes a quality, unique feeling sitcom. I am looking forward to checking out more episodes of it. I'm definitely not tuning out anytime soon. With that being said, I really think that it's missing kind of that, like I said, the pop, that little special uniqueness that's going to bring it out of being just another sitcom that's on a weeknight to something that could be really awesome. I think it has the potential to go into that area. The 2 daughters are amazing. Like I said, they have some awesome little quips and really some awesome comedic timing. And with the superstar power that we have here, it seems like we definitely could be going somewhere. One of my favorite reoccurring characters is Fortune Feimster. Awesome stuff from her. I really appreciate her as a comedian, and I'm so glad that she's involved in all of this.
Now, this is dumb.
Oh, he's freeballing it. $100 says he has a meltdown again.
I really think that having supporting characters like Pam, played by Fortune, in this show is what's going to be able to kind of allow it to blossom, open up, give us those different angles that are going to make this show really feel like it's actually something awesome and worth tuning into each and every week. With everybody who is part of that secondary cast and all the recurring characters, I think there's a lot of potential, along with the 2 daughters that are cast underneath Kenan, and with Don Johnson and Chris Redd backing him up. I see this show as really having so much room to move that it's going to be a real shame if they can't get it off the ground more than it is right now. Like I said, I really did enjoy it, but as of right now, it doesn't feel like it's fully breathing as much as it could be. I just really hope that they have a way to expand out. I know there are a lot of options inside of the plot lines that they're starting to set up in these first 2 episodes, so it does look like they're going to try and spread those tendrils out a little bit more, but we can't be sure. It is a sitcom, and if it doesn't start to bite soon, it's probably going to lose a lot of its grip. But overall, there is a lot to be determined about this because we're only 2 episodes in, and there is so much left wanting at the end of the 22 minutes. But I really have my fingers crossed for it. I love Kenan. I love Chris Redd. I love Don Johnson. I love what they're doing with this cast. What they've put together really has some awesome potential. But so far, I am feeling kind of underwhelmed on this one. But I don't have my hopes too low. I'm kind of putting my hopes a little high, maybe too high, because there is a long way to fall if they do end up not doing anything with this. But like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to get at least a full single season out of this, which will definitely let us develop some of these characters and pull a little bit more out of it. It does have a lot of an SNL writer kind of feel with the hot one-liner jokes. I do hope that they bring in things like callbacks, and they start doing a little more of the particular not so in the moment style jokes, really allow these characters to open up and shine. Right now they feel like stereotypical casting choices, and what they're getting out of it is kind of stereotypical casting responses. So I hope that we get a little bit more out of that as we go on. But so far, I am excited that Kenan finally got this show off the ground after so much hard work and such a long time of being a part of my life. I remember Kenan as part of Kenan and Kel and was really glad that he got to be part of the SNL crew, and am so excited that he's been part of the SNL crew for so long. So with that being said, good luck to you all, and that's my first impression of Kenan, available on Tuesdays on NBC, NBC Peacock streaming, and the next following day on Hulu. Check it out. I did. I enjoyed it. We'll see where it goes. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Soup. I really appreciate you stopping by for this first impression. Don't forget to give the video the old like, and if you can, and if you want to, subscribe with the little subscribe button down there, and ding the dingy bell thing so that you know when the new videos are coming up. And if you haven't checked out the rest of my channel, I do some other kind of stuff. I said do. I have other videos on my channel as well. It isn't all just TV reviews, and I got some more series that are going to be coming out sooner rather than later. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions of Kenan on NBC, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Soup.
Sky over the Atlantic.